That's legit though. I like it like that. Yeah, they hear some blues or funky blues, so stop playing old time rock and roll.
Yes, we are. I am. Wish you were here with me. Big training session. Solid training session. I hope that you're noting a trend in my training where I'm tired when I get here. So I began training, I think it said at 12:44. No, I began training a few minutes after 12, somewhere around there. And I did my first set at 12:44. But a lot of my warm-ups is, massage, stretching, jumping, therapy gun, hot creams, doing a set and saying, that kind of feels funny, or in that bicep, and I don't know what you can see, or if you can see, but I've got a olive colored bruise all over the top of this bicep. I don't know why. It looks like one of those bruises where you put some kind of funky hot cream, muscle cream, on something that's sore, and you leave it there and don't wash it off. And but it's not, so I don't know. And then on this bicep, I've got a nice bruise right here. I've been getting a bruise in the exact same spot for the last month or so, which is fine, but if I keep getting a bruise on that spot, that tissue is going to eventually cause me problems. Say bruises on my forearms from stones, but that was using tacky on Thursday, and the tacky is so freaking strong. That Cerberus tacky. I used the level 3 grade tacky instead of the level 4, and man, just I had to physically pull my hands off the stone, which is pretty freaking awesome, if you ask me. But I think that's where these bruises are coming from, and this is where it's just sticking to the stone. But I need to adjust a little bit. Can't continue to get bruises in the same spots every week and expect that area to recover without eventually getting injured. So the plan for today, I had two plans, had two options. One was 110 kilograms, 242 pounds for a single, and light accessories and walk away, or two, not train at all. And option 2 was plan A most of the day, until it came down right down to the very, very end. It's just been, it's just been a wild week. I left this on the other day. Somebody commented on YouTube that they felt like, me talking at the end of a training session was a lot like sitting down with a training partner after a training session and having a conversation. So I'm going to keep leaving this here. Part of this is, I have a good time talking to you guys. And if you guys can ever relate to anything that I'm saying, then it's definitely absolutely worth it. So it's just been, I want to say a long week with my son, but not this last, but the one before, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, with my youngest son was, I don't want to say anything bad, but just one 5-minute spill was shattered a window, beat his head on that window, took the remote control and beat the vacuum cleaner, flipped the vacuum cleaner and threw it, hit the TV, like he did something else. And then he grabbed the most expensive piece of furniture. It's the only expensive piece of furniture actually in our house. We've gotten rid of pretty much everything except this one nice piece of furniture, and he ripped the cover right down the middle. And I have no earthly idea how it's even physically possible. That was in 5 minutes of one day, and then it just, every day has been that way. And I thought it was just here at home, and after talking to his teachers, he's been the same way at school. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this past week, he was great. He was not great, he was good. Totally acceptable for home. And the teacher said that he was really, really good at school as well. But something was bothering him. And as he was at school and it got down to the playground time, and he went outside, first time they've been outside to the playground all year. And they didn't start till end of September anyway, but end of September. But he didn't want to go play. He wanted to sit down. And that's not him at all. So But this weekend has been much the same, of him being, pretty wild. And it's topped off that, I work a very time-consuming, demanding job where there's always someone who needs something from me 24 hours a day. And my wife works a very time-consuming job, and she's finishing her PhD. She's had, they appointed her to a political, she's in charge of special education for the city here, politically, and there's, just a lot of stuff that, she really needed this weekend to get stuff done. And then, I shouldn't say anything. I always need every night, every day to get something done. It's always, hey, I need to work on this right now. And I've had to take my clients and say, look, it's going to be tomorrow. And I hate doing that. I really hate doing that because tomorrow became the next day and the next day and the next day. But my son really needed me. So, but I'm not saying this so they'll relax up, because they won't see this video probably 2 to 3 weeks if they even watch the video. So but it was, today is just one of those, it's been one of those days. And if you keep up with my training over the last year, I normally train 4 to 6 weeks. And then I just say, you know what, I need a day off. I'm not going to the gym. And, people have asked me all through, even all through chemotherapy, and I still take meds, the same meds on Fridays, just not a big dose. Take a little tiny dose now. Helps keep me a little bit better. If you're sick, when should you go train and when should you stay at home? And I always tell people that if you want to go train, go train. If you want to stay home, stay home. And people are like, that's hardcore. Yeah, go train. I'm like, no, honestly, dude, if you want to stay home, stay home. But if you want to go train, oh my God, if you want to go train, go train. And today was just one of those days where I'm getting to the point to where I need a 3-day training week instead of a 4-day training week. Once the training session starts, it's not bad at all, but I really need a 4th day per week of just work, just relax, just mobility, time with the kids, laying on the couch. And I think that if I could have another day of rest instead of training, that I could catch up on a lot of stuff, including feeling better. But like today, I hate to miss a log session. It's worst event, press. And all I had was one hard set, and really I had a lot of accessories that I needed to get on video. That way I can screenshot and pull the videos out and send them to clients either tonight or the next several days this next week. So I couldn't really miss the training session. And tomorrow's deadlifts. Who wants to miss deadlift? Really? And after a long Monday, having some free time to yourself is really important. But Wednesdays is the only day I'm going to the House of Biceps. So to get to go there, and that is the day where I really get to go crazy with intense box squats. So I don't want to miss that. And then, you come to Thursdays, it's Atlas stones and sandbags. Who wants to miss Atlas stones and sandbags? It's possibly the most fun you'll have all week. And I'm doing a lot of new exercises as well on Thursday. So, I don't want to miss out on anything. And then, I hate to cut a training session hugely short. So, but I know that I do need that. And I will probably have to have that sometime soon. So, cat is just dying to cause problems. I sit down tonight just before training, had 2 steaks, some snacks, sweet potato fries, like 1.5 liters of juice and carb powder and electrolytes. Got my blood sugar up to a decent level because it was really, really low. And then got out here to log press. The log, everything felt really, really good. Bicep just feels sore. I think that's the best way to put it. Hamstrings felt decent. Back feels decent. I got the 242 for a solid single, and then I had to make a call while the log's overhead. Am I going to go for a second one or not? And do I want to set it back down? So I'd already made one good clean without a hamstring cramping up, and I just thought, hey, I'm going to take it back down to my chest, and then I'm just going to do another one, see what happens. And I went up with it, and it wasn't quite there, and I didn't feel like pushing because I'm feeling it a little bit in my back. The 100 kilo, the 220-pound log that I did my last warm-up, as I locked it out, I'm sure you've done this too, as I locked it out, I heard my spine just, top to bottom. But it's coming around. It's coming around. I got to remember that I've got 3 more 12-week blocks ahead of me before I have to do anything serious on log. So I need to give myself patience, and I've got to continue to figure out accessories that are going to make my core lift pay off. I know I need more shoulder exercises, and that I'm just really limited on shoulder exercises that I can do, which led me to a big development today with the floor press. I've been doing these for a long time, the floor press off the crash pads and using the axle. It feels really, really good at 21, 22 reps with 220, which is probably a PR, and that's really strange. My elbows do, well, with the 220, my triceps touched the ground, my elbows didn't. I definitely, if I took it down fast, they definitely would sink, and it definitely would touch the ground. I didn't do any kind of bouncing. I stopped and then pressed again. Get 21, 22 reps. Went up from there, 264, and then added all the chains. It was like 354, something like that. And what that does, that gives me a really good idea on something I can do for dynamic effort. It's something else I can do for triceps, for chest, for shoulders, and it would give me that dynamic effort day back here, training some kind of flat press, because I really cannot do the log press with dynamic effort. Putting that much speed and torque into an overhead press exercise is just way too much back. It's way too much spine, something I don't have right now. So I think my accessory, I could even have, I definitely need to add one more session this week, don't I? After all that complaining, I could go in and have that session on Fridays, even here at home. Even if I came down to 8 sets of 3, 15 sets of 3, whatever, varying grips, that would be really solid work. Something I could do as contest get closer, and it's something I could also do as an accessory on this day to really fry the triceps and safely work the pecs and the shoulders, and that would build all of my overhead press work. Really, really excited with how that felt, and really, really excited on the weight that I had on the bar. That's just absolutely huge. So I finished off with a bunch of accessories, a lot of movements towards the end. Everything was based on balance, and you can see my problem areas with everything that I'm doing. So you look at the planks. Planks are fine. It's not an issue with the planks. I can get my body locked in and hold everything. I'm going to continue to try different positions on that until I can find something that's really, really weak. But I've got to be able to hold those positions, something like that, somewhere in the let's say the 30 to 60 second range. And then I've got an idea on how to slowly increase the tension on that as well. Something that's going to transfer over to my strongman events, where I have to hold my entire midsection stable, for a run. Did the standing balance board, slowly working on that. I think, let me see, what was it? The big one that I did, the lunges. That was the big one. Now, I've mentioned before, I had the issues with my back, 2 herniations and a fracture. The nerve is kind of crazy. I've got some toes on my right foot that are numb. I can feel them right now. I can move them right now, but they don't move correctly. I don't have full function of those toes. So I got that balance piece of foam last week. That way I can walk on it with my toes spread as much as possible, at least every day, once a day, get on there and just work about moving. Try to get those toes moving. But what you can see is I can take that right foot and plant it and lunge just fine, because that back foot goes up on the toe, then I have no problems balancing with that left leg. When I step forward with the left leg and that right leg has to balance up on that toe, it has no balance whatsoever. You may think, oh, hey, well, you're a strong man, it doesn't really matter, you're never in that position. But the hamstring is not going to function properly unless you can press with that toe. You're not going to be able to sprint on the yoke or the farmers or get up with full extension on anything unless you can get those toes to functioning properly, because the hamstrings are never going to function properly without that toe. And you cannot isolate that hamstring with a hamstring curl and make that transfer over into those vents. And then you can't do a two-leg glute ham raise because the left leg will compensate because both legs are pressed against the plate. And obviously I'm not strong enough to do a one-legged glute ham raise yet. So I also did the Thompson walks. Those set me on fire. Those were a lot of QL that really set me on fire, and I need to do those 4 or 5 times a week. I need to add band tension, and I need to be able to hold something when I do it, because that hit an exact spot that has to get stronger for the yoke, farmer squats, and deadlifts. I cannot believe that I haven't done those in so long. Finished off with the rower. Did not do too much. I just wanted a little bit of cardio, get my heart rate up, body temperature up. And I wanted to finish off with some biceps and triceps, some lats and some pullovers, and that's exactly what I did. So someone's messaged me at this time of night. It's definitely important. So sorry for talking your ear off. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys tomorrow for deadlifts. Have a good night.